Hello everybody, this is Twin Flame from LifeTree TV. Today, I'm here to explain how our human life can lead to the evolution of our spirit souls by taking communism as an example. Communism, we think it is a product of human reasoning, but it also works as a strong matrix supporting current material civilization on Earth, coming from the heaven. At this time, I will tell you how critical and important the role of communism is for the evolution of our spirit souls and also for the dissolution of our karmas. The title of Captain Udeka's message is Communism and the Evolution of the Spirit Soul. Please listen carefully. Spirit souls are born by the consciousness of the Creator. Spirit souls born by the consciousness of the Creator are evolving by experiencing the material world. The characteristics of a spirit soul are determined by the nature of its heaven-given thought adjuster bestowed by the Creator. The spirit souls that have specially designed thought adjusters granted by the Creator are called descending spirit souls, whereas those that have general thought adjusters given by the Creator are called ascending spirit souls. Among descending spirit souls, the Melchizedek group and the other workers of darkness are the special spirit soul group that have been deployed to the material world after being trained in the heaven. Three components of their spirits, the thought adjuster, the spirit of holiness, and the spirit of truth, are all specially designed by the Creator to enable them to carry out bad or dark roles professionally as the specialist of darkness. The Melchizedek group and the other workers of darkness are the spirit soul group that serve to install various kinds of matrices in the grand universe that support planetary civilizations, such as matrices for material, religious, political, and economic systems on behalf of the Creator. Thus, their spirits have unique heaven-given thought adjusters specially programmed by the Creator and are customized for such purposes. On a planet, they are involved in setting up theater stages where spirit souls can experience the material world and installing Chalajimang for material and spiritual civilizations on the planet, in line with the evolutionary roadmap of the planet. Here, Chalajimang literally means the invisible net structure laid out by the heaven, and once caught in this structure, nothing can ever escape from it. Chalajimang has the same meaning with the matrix to be installed for constructing civilizations on a planet. The Melchizedek group and the other workers of darkness are belonging to the spirit soul group that manages and operates planets in the matrices they have built on behalf of the heaven. One of their important roles is to introduce materialism and communism to a planet. Through the materialistic and communist ideologies unfolded in the material world by this spirit soul group, ascending spirit souls are meant to experience the nature of darkness at a high level, through which they can achieve their evolution. Ascending spirit souls must experience the attribute of high-level darkness without exception during their evolutionary journeys. Communism is an ideology corresponding to deep darkness, and the experience of communism is one of the most difficult experiences of darkness that ascending spirit souls have to obtain for their evolution. Ascending spirit souls must experience materialistic and communist ideologies, which are so-called the most essential compulsory subject for these spirit souls to take for their evolution. At each stage of the evolutionary journey, ascending spirit souls must pass through the courses of denying the Creator and the divinity of spirit souls and believing only what is visible. In this way, they can experience deep darkness. Meanwhile, there are different degrees of difficulty in gaining experiences regarding materialism and communism. Various levels of materialism and communism that a spirit soul must experience are assigned to the itinerary of the spirit soul's evolutionary journey, depending on the level and the dimension of each evolutionary process. Thus, ascending spirit souls must experience and learn these ideologies firsthand every time they pass through each level of each dimension in their evolutionary tracks. Without the experience of materialism and communism, ascending spirit souls would not be able to evolve nor participate in the construction of spiritual civilization. In addition, only after ascending spirit souls on a planet experience deep darkness through materialism and communist regimes, spiritual civilization can be constructed on their planet, through which the dimensional ascension of the planet can be achieved. Ascending spirit souls are destined to experience materialism and communism unfolded by the Melchizedek group and the other workers of darkness, who are the descending spirit souls. Through these material experiences, ascending spirit souls can learn the value of light in the deep darkness. Materialism and communism are very fearful and difficult subjects for ascending spirit souls to experience. In the process of experiencing materialism and communist ideas, ascending spirit souls build the largest amount of karmas, but also have the opportunity to dissolve their karmas as well. If a spirit soul created by the light of the Creator has to live a wasteful life by denying the Creator in pursuit of meaningless ideas, it would be a very painful and challenging life program for the spirit soul. However, for both ascending and descending spirit souls who have a lot of karmas, the quickest way to dissolve their karmas is to live a life in which they experience materialism and communist ideas. All spirit souls are created by the light of the Creator. Thus, if a spirit soul is set to deny the Creator and live a life driven by material desires, experiencing deep darkness in the absence of light, it would be the most severe punishment to the spirit soul. On earth, some spirit souls have received such punishment. Various alien spirit soul groups who committed original sins on their planets and have come to Earth, a prison planet. They are now living under the systems based on materialism and communism, dissolving their karmas. The alien spirit souls who committed original sins on their home planets are dissolving their karmas by suffering from material poverty in fear and dread under communist regimes. They have lost the heaven from their hearts and been disconnected from the heaven, not noticing the heaven exists. While a spirit soul is on its evolutionary journey in the material world based on materialism, the spirit soul is not allowed it to get access to the invisible world. As soon as spirit souls accept the viewpoint of materialism, they come to believe only what is visible and live disconnected from the heaven, trapped in the paradigm of materialism. Spirit souls born by the divine light of the Creator come to lose the heaven as soon as they endorse materialism and communist ideas. Those who deny the presence of the heaven tend to believe only what is visible and deny the divinity of the spirit souls of their own and others. Materialist and communist ideologies, which deny the existence of the heaven, value justice and equality, but deny or reject morals and ethics which are essential to human relationships. As soon as spirit souls born by the light of the Creator deny the existence of the heaven and believe only what is visible, human beings, their human codes, come to live a life only driven by greed and desires. As soon as humans stop making ultimate questions about where they have come from and will go, why they live, and how they should live, they fall into slaves of desire. As a result, humans come to build a lot of karmas by seriously infringing on the free will of others. As soon as spirit souls created by the light of the Creator accept materialistic or communist ideas, they come to believe that what is visible is all of this world. Once people stop making fundamental questions about who they are, why they live here, and how they should live their lives, they become immersed in the sweetness provided by material abundance and live wasteful and consumptive lives. If spirit souls created by the light of the Creator cannot access the invisible world, it would be the biggest tragedy for them. For materialists and communists, only visible world is the truth. They are disconnected from the invisible world, so they cannot help but deny the invisible world. Instead, they are living in a wasteful and consumptive life, pursuing only what is visible, following their material desires in the deep darkness. Nevertheless, such a life is not necessarily meaningless for their spirit souls, because they can dissolve their karmas by going through such lives. The heaven installs various types of chalajimang, or matrices, on a planet. On Earth, there are numerous people who do not know these facts and believe only what is visible to them, trapped in a chalajimang called materialism. In this way, their spirit souls are on fierce and desperate journeys to seek for light in the darkness at their levels of consciousness. Furthermore, there are people caught in a chalajimang called communism, created through imperfect human reasoning, who believe only what they can see without knowing anything about the heaven. Again, through this way of human life, their spirit souls are also struggling desperately to find light in the deep darkness at their levels of consciousness, which is one path of their journeys for gaining material experiences. At present, when the material civilization of Earth is ahead of its termination, fierce spiritual wars of light and darkness are going on all around the world, between those who tend to believe only what they can see and those who believe in the invisible world. These spiritual wars, which are fiercely underway all over the world, including the Korean Peninsula are wars of values between light and darkness, waged by those who deny God and want to propagate the materialistic ideas and communist systems, and those who believe in God, value morals and conscience, and try to protect the liberal democratic system. Human beings on earth must experience deep darkness of material civilization before opening up a new spiritual civilization. It is necessary and essential for humankind to go through the collapsing process of material civilization, which has been developed based on materialism, before initiating a new spiritual civilization. Human beings will have to learn the fictitiousness of the communist system created by human reasoning combined with human arrogance, and also experience the collapse of communist systems before starting a new spiritual civilization. During the collapse of material civilization, human beings will experience deep darkness. In other words, people in each country will get into unprecedented national situations and suffer from social conflicts and natural disasters that they have never experienced before. Also, the complete disintegration of value systems and the consequent chaos in standards and values will drive them into extreme fear and dread. Going through all of these situations, they will have their consciousness awakened. On the Korean Peninsula, a spiritual war of light and darkness is fiercely proceeding through the impeachment of former South Korean President Park Geun-hye, which was prepared by the heaven. As this spiritual war of light and darkness develops into a war of values between light and darkness, the consciousness of the Korean people will be awakened. The spiritual war of light and darkness taking place on the Korean Peninsula is a war between liberal democrats and communists, respectively. This spiritual war planned and prepared by the heaven will become intensified over time. The religious people participating in this spiritual war of light and darkness, and also the citizens joining the war of values between light and darkness, will achieve a great spiritual awakening along with the evolution of their spirit souls. I wish all the best for the Korean people. March 2nd, 2020, Udeka wrote. His message was translated by Twin Flame. Thank you so much for listening.